Have you ever wondered what people do to become successful? Or like, have you ever thought to yourself, like, one day I'm going to be successful? I used to think to myself as a kid all the time, like, one day I'm going to be successful. Like, I used to be in the living room playing on my like hoop that I made out of a hanger on the door. And I would just be like, playing in my mind like, oh, they're fouling him, they're doing everything to stop him, and oh, he still makes it and won. Like I always was like had this vision of overcoming and becoming successful at the endeavor that I wanted to do. And I know that there's other people out there who think that way. And I say that because we see them on TV. We see them anytime we're walking and you see people that look important and you go, damn, they look successful. We see it all around us. We live in buildings where somebody successfully put together a plan to have people live in it. And so I always thought to myself, like, okay, I'm going to be successful, but how do I become successful? And most of the time, the thoughts that I had on how to be successful came from people around me, which they would say, "Oh, well, you just got to work hard. If you put in a lot of time and effort at something, then you'll get there." But I really didn't know what was the exact steps that I needed to be successful. Nobody really gave me an exact blueprint. And so what I did was I decided, all right, look, I'm going to try to find what is the blueprint to people becoming successful. Like, what is it that leads to success? And like a scientist, I thought to myself, well, first thing I have to do is identify what is success. How do I identify with being successful and what is success? And what I took from looking around and noticing people and looking at books is that the truly successful people realize that they are a channel to be acted through to create success in the outer world. Meaning that success is working through them to cause things to happen in the external world to take place that leads to what was in them. Meaning that they had to identify with the sources of success and have no anxiety about what it is that they were trying to accomplish. And when you think about this, I think about people that are like really great painters or artists. They have to already see the picture in mind that they're trying to bring about into the external world. And they have to know the lines and all of the different details that go into creating the masterpiece in their mind into the external world. And they can't have any anxiety or doubts about it. Like if you walking across somebody on the street and they go, "Oh, I can draw you," and then they just perfectly, put together this drawing of you. There was no anxiety about the success of bringing what they saw into the outer world. And they had already identified with the results of it. And when I think about that, I think about this. It makes me think of this picture right here. It's let me see here. It makes me think about this picture. When I think of art and success, I think of the people that are successful. They have this feeling like I think it was Michelangelo who made this. I'm not exactly sure, but it there's like this connection between what isn't physical and what is physical, and they're the medium that is being used through that. And that's why a lot of people, you see when they become successful, they go, oh, the first thing I want to do is thank God. They get up and get a speech and they go, first off, I want to give thanks to God, my mama. And they always give thanks to God. Who's God or what God, that's on them. But there's always an acknowledgement of a source that channeled through them to bring about into the physical world what is. So what is that success? And where do you get that success from? And where does that source at? Is it within you or is it without of you? And so what you see is that causality in the world has a formula. And that formula is what is brings about what occurs. Meaning, like if you're trying to get somewhere, a lot of times you say, okay, I want to get off on MLK. But in order to get to MLK, I got to take this street, get on this freeway, and then get off and make a left. And then I'll be on MLK. But causality isn't a formula that happens where A goes to B, which brings you to C. Causality's formula is what is brings about what occurs, meaning I know I'm getting to MLK. MLK is already the result. Because in my mind, I'm already at MLK. That brings about me getting on the freeway, taking this street, getting on the freeway, making a left, and ended up on MLK. So the formula is ABC already is. It's A, B, and C. It already is. That is what brings about A, which leads to B, which leads to C. That is the formula for causality. Causality is a result of what already is. But a person who views success in the realm of the external, meaning their source isn't coming from within them, and they aren't the channel being used to bring about dominion over the things around them. They think that what occurs brings about what is, meaning I got to get to A in order to get to B, in order to get to C, and that will be ABC. So I got to take the streets and get on the freeway and make the left to end up on MLK. That is an external view of how to get to your destination of success. And if you look at the people who see success as being an external thing, they're always insecure about their source because the source is thought to be outside of them. And, it hurts for me to say this, but like growing up as a Christian, most of the people that I knew, they would always pray to this outside source of things becoming successful in their life. But they didn't identify themselves as the source of what it was that they were praying for. Are you I hope that you're following along with what I'm saying. And because you were looking to an outside source to make you feel secure in your ability to be successful, you somewhat are powerless in your journey towards success, because the power is thought to be outside of you. And that means if the power is outside of you, then that means you're vulnerable to things being able to affect your success, because it's not coming from within you and out of you. It's from out of you coming within you. You following along? And so then you become very defensive and you become possessive. And I'm sure you've come across people in your life where you could feel their defensiveness about things, or they were extra possessive over certain aspects in their life because they believe that the powers outside of them can affect what is within them. But the truly successful people, the source of their power came from within them. So the outside world didn't really affect them like that. And when I as an example of that, I'll give a great example, because I think about this guy whenever I think of like external and internal sources of success. Let me go to this guy right here. I always think of this kid right here whenever I think of people identifying with the fact that power to be successful is outside of them. Like if this kid, is it Hansel, had thought to himself, well, you know what? I was born with one arm. And so, nobody with one arm makes it to play D1 basketball because, I just don't have the power to do it. But this kid, he thought differently. He knew where success came from. It was within him. He knew within himself that if I can be successful, and I am the source by which success operates. I am the channel where success operates through me to happen into the outside world. And no matter what my circumstances are, I can bring about success. And maybe he's not in the NBA, but can you say that he's not successful? I look at him and I say, this guy right here is successful. And he didn't let his outside circumstances get in his way. And when you believe in these things and you have a solid confidence, like solid confidence and like being stern and solidified in who you are and what you're capable of is what leads to your success. And it comes from the knowledge that the source is within you. And it's independent of any outward circumstances that can affect you. And when you have this belief and knowledge and knowing that I am the source that success comes from, nothing can stop you to reach what it is that you're trying to get, which is, identifying what is success. This is how we're putting together what does success mean. And you have to see your position in life as a stewardship. Everything that you're doing and that is occurring is happening to get you to where you're going for your success. A lot of times we look at these outward things and we think that, they're going to stop us from getting to where we want to be. And, life is so hard, and why doesn't things just work out for me and happen easy? And when I think about that, I think about this guy, Kobe. You think like there were so many different things in Kobe's life that happened that could have stopped him from becoming the person that we know him as, and more than the person, the entity of which he is. There's this thing about Kobe where we call it Mamba mentality. You know, Kobe had this Mamba mentality. He went through a bunch of different things, which you probably already know about it. But like after all of that came about this thing for him, which is like Mamba mentality, where, you know, like I'll do whatever it takes to win games, whether it's sitting on the bench, waving it out. Like it became where I will do whatever it takes to be the best version of myself. And this is where it says, it's a constant quest to try to be better today than you were yesterday and better tomorrow than you were the day before. And we have to look at life like that in order to be successful, in order to identify with success. Everything that is taking place is happening en route to your success because you are the source of success. Success works through you to operate in this world. And I hope that you're catching what I'm saying, the depth of what I'm trying to get at. So, when trying to achieve success, the first thing you have to do is identify what is success. And success is a power. It's not something that you force. It's a power that works through you on the external world. The external world does not have anything to do with your success. It cannot waver or destroy the idea and the facts that you know within you that success is working through you. And once you get to this point of saying, okay, how do I get successful? The source is causality. Causality takes place on the world, therefore, I achieve success. ABC is, that leads to A to B to C. It's not ABC leads to ABC. Causality formula. Go back and write that down if you get a chance. But so once we realize, okay, success operates through me. Where I identify with success has to do with what is my God and where does my power come from? And it can never be outside of me. Once I have identified with success, well then, how do I gauge what is success? Because I know what is success, and success is simplified, basically the thought process of what I believe, if we just break it down. So, what are the 3 steps to becoming successful? Or there actually are 3 steps to becoming successful. There's like 3 levels of success, or what I'll say. Initially, it's what you have that counts. Meaning like your status and your visible signs of wealth is what make you be successful. Right? Like, let's see. This is what in the external world, this is how we view success. Success is viewed like this, right? I got my chains on, I got my grill, I got money, I got high price fashion. You could look at me and go, oh wow, they must have money. They're successful. So that's one level of success. One level of success is, you know, visual signs of material wealth. So that's level 1. Level 2, as you progress in life, then it becomes, well, what do you do rather than what do you have is the next sign of success. And that is meaning like your position in activities in life, that brings your status in life. So when you think about that, it's like, you know, we'll go here. Like, you think of men and women with suits on, right? Like, you see these people, like the owners, the CFO, all of these different people who play positions that are kind of unseen, politicians, all of these people who you look at them and their name says what they do, like a lawyer, a doctor, right? Now what they do, that has a little more status than somebody just walking around looking like money. So there's that second level of success. The first level is what do you have? The second level is what do you do? But then there's a third level. There's the last level. There's the most important level, which is mastery. That's your maturation as a being. And what this means is what you have accomplished is what's important. Not what you have and not what you do, but the things that you have accomplished, which is important. This is a higher level of the highest level of success. And that just means that like social roles and glamour, they lose their power when you have become with, or when you have decided to become. So social roles lose their glamour as one becomes concerned only with what one has become. Meaning that journey that you were on, those different things that you went through that you thought were trying to hinder your success, outward external things trying to stop your success. Those things are the very things that will help leading you to your success. And you can go after having things and looking successful. You could also go to a higher level, which is the things that you do that show success in the world by what you bring to the world. How do you help the world? How do people benefit from you by what you do? But the ultimate form of success will always be, who are you becoming? And that is where you find success at. And those are the three levels of success. And most of us aim for the first level of success. And then there's people that who aim for the second level of success. But while you're on this journey, you should be looking to the third level of success. And this is how you truly become successful. Because you could have things and you could do things, but what does it mean if the person that you become at the end of it all isn't the person that you admire? Or isn't the person that you yourself respect? And you see it a lot of times with people who we deem as successful, and they take their own lives, or they kind of just give it all up. And you think, dang, they were successful. Why would they destroy it all? And sometimes, most of the time, we're not able to see behind the doors of the people who we deem as successful. And a lot of times the things that they were working towards, they forgot about the third step of success. And that is your mastery and your maturation of yourself and your power and the source of your success. And these things should come by a result of your life's experiences. And one person that I think about when I think about this is this guy. Is one of my favorites, but like Andre, like people think, oh, Andre was like one of the dopest rappers, and then like all of a sudden he just kind of fell off. He just disappeared, and then all of a sudden he comes with this flute album. And I think what happened with Andre when you listen to his interviews, it came to a point where, yeah, I got things. Yeah, I'm this great rapper slash singer slash artist. But who am I becoming at the end of the day? And am I proud of who I've become? And he was willing to step away from the spotlight to just be a man that he's proud of being. And that's how you reach your master level in life. And that is how you truly become successful. So, I hope that you've learned something from this. The questions that I would ask you after watching this is, do you identify yourself with the source of success? What is the source of success? Who is your source of success? Is it external or is it internal? More so, do you know who you want to be? Do you know the person that you are trying to be? What level of success are you looking for? Are you looking for the first level of success, the second level of success, or are you looking for the highest level of success? You have to think about, this. I would ask more so this: do you know who you're becoming? Because that's going to show you if you are truly successful or not. You can have things, you could do stuff, but who you're becoming is the most important thing. So remember the causality formula, and keep in mind that life is happening, and it's not happening to you, but rather for you. Let's go out and be successful.